Hey yo, welcome to the first episode of Behind the Beast, where we get to know the contestants on Beast Game Season 2, Strong vs. Smart. Now, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Beast Game Season 2, Episode 1, I would recommend doing that right now before you find out who any of the contestants are on the series. So giving you a last warning, spoiler alert, watch that, and then come back to this video after that. So on Behind the Beast, my goal is to kind of get to know the contestants all throughout the process. Obviously, there are a lot of people that didn't make it to the end, but everyone has such genuine and awesome stories. And I kind of want to tell them from all different stages of the process. One small game could have changed who the top 10 was this season, could have changed who it was last season, and everyone has an important story. And I figured what better way to start than to go back to the winner of Season 1, Jeff. Welcome into Behind the Beasts.
Behind the Beast.
Nice to see you, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is so good. Hey, I'm Jeff, player 831 from Season 1 of Beast Games. And in real life, I'm a rare disease advocate, trying to find a cure for my son's rare disease, Creatine Transporter Deficiency.
And you're back now for Season 2.
And I'm back for Season 2, which is
so cool.
crazy.
I never expected, honestly, watching the show the first time, and then all of a sudden you just pop up. It was wild.
and it was surreal because, you'd think, hey, I was in Season 1, I'm going to have a part in Season 2. Yeah. But as we got closer and closer, I didn't get a call. I'm like, what's going on? Did I not do a good job?
So how late in the process did you find out before you actually started filming?
3 or 4 weeks.
Wow. Okay. So they were just like, okay, next month, be ready.
Yeah, I got a phone call that said, hey, there is an opportunity for you to come back to Beast Game Season 2 in some capacity.
Yeah.
You could be there for a day or two, or you could be there for longer.
Sure.
And, of course, Season 1 was awesome. I won, but more than that, the experience was great.
Sure.
So I'm yes, of course I'm going to say yes, but where is it? What are we doing? So and you get excited again and had to plan everything at home, but it was cool.
So now, when you found out that you're going to come back onto the show, did you approach it in a different manner than when you were competing for the very first time?
Yeah, so when I got the call for Season 2, I didn't know what role I would play.
Sure.
In my mind, it's hey, I come in, I help kick it off. Yeah. Here's the Season 1 champ, and then I come back at the end and I put on a jacket to the winner.
Oh, that'd be so cool, a tradition.
The Masters, the golf tournament. But once I got to kind of set the day before you saw us, that's when I found out kind of that I might be back in the games itself.
Oh, so they didn't even tell you until you were actually there?
They didn't tell us until we were actually there.
Wow. So you couldn't even prepare. You were thinking it was going to be a small thing.
In my mind, I was hey, there's a chance we might have to I thought they'd bring back people from Season 1. It's a battle royale where one person would make it in.
Yeah.
So I had no clue, but in my mind, once I learned, I'm okay, I need to figure out what kind of game do I want to play.
Sure, yeah.
That allows me to experience it. Obviously, I'm a competitor.
Yeah.
But also, I have to be there would be a target on my back.
Yeah.
So I just had to quickly choose.
And you have a reputation now of obviously supporting good cause, and you kind of came out like a hero in Season 1. So did that kind of give you pressure into going into Season 2?
Well, when it comes to pressure, I didn't really feel much pressure going in. It's hey, I want to be a good steward of the championship, and I want to represent Beast Games well.
Yeah.
But once I found out the game, and I quickly realized, I was the longest standing contestant in Season 1. I could be the shortest one in Season 2.
Yeah.
I did not want to hold that record because I literally could have been in the game and within an hour got eliminated.
So now coming back, what production change or rule change caught you most off guard, and how did that change the way that you approach your relationships with other contestants?
There wasn't anything that caught me off guard, but it's one of these things where I win, and then I do some press, and then we did a 4-year consideration event where I'm with Jimmy and Tyler, and I get to know them on a different level.
Yeah.
But once you're back in the games, you're a contestant. Very strict rules, and it's one of these things that you just forget. I forget how stringent they are on what you can and can't do, and so it's just that's one thing I love. One of the reasons why I love the competition in Beast Games so much is they want to maintain the integrity of the game, and it was honestly, it feels like you have really strict parents.
Sure.
But I love it. That's what makes the games real.
And legitimate. And because I feel a lot of people are oh, I feel this is scripted. There were a lot of actors in Season 1, but they actually do put a lot of effort, even from my perspective. Season 2 had a lot of average people. And I mean, not average, even people who were just the top of their fields, but they were not influencers necessarily. And we got to see that they treated everybody equally. And it was only until you actually won a prize or anything like that, moved on, where they started to okay, now we can actually start to open up a little bit.
And from a production standpoint, there was 10 of us, and I didn't know who else was going to be there.
Sure. Yeah.
We literally get blindfolded, walked into a room before we met you, and then we take the blindfold off and we see everybody. Like that was I didn't know.
So you didn't even know who were standing next to you?
Who the next 10 were.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, in my mind, I was speculating. This is just what you do in Beast Games.
Sure, yeah.
But I had no clue. And that's what is so neat about the production is they keep it very, very close.
So now, after returning as a champion, do you feel that you had to play up that character of Jeff that everyone saw in season 1, or did you approach with a new mentality?
Yeah, I mean, coming back, clearly I have a reputation. You know, like it's like, hey, you're the champion. The last thing you want to do as a champion is kind of fail and fall on your face.
Sure.
So, but I also, like, I realized I had to play a different game. So once I realized what it was like, okay, can I help make sure that whoever wins season 2 is a good steward of the prize and is kind of worthy of the title Beast Games champ? Because I realized that the odds of me winning again are even slimmer than probably season 1.
Sure.
So like I had to figure out what kind of game did I want to play, and I kind of went to the mindset of, can I help make sure someone good wins? Can I go as far as enough I can to bring some good people along?
So now, did it feel weird coming into the process at the midpoint when people already started forming the connections? And then how did you go about like meeting new people?
Oh yeah, it's once I again we take off that mask and I look around and I see these beasts of people, you know, and I look around and I also see people I recognize from Survivor or Michelle the Human Calculator. Like there's people like who I knew.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, like I need to get to know them. So once I got back into the games, it was shaking hands, introducing myself, connecting. But I also realized like they're going, we just went through all this to get here.
Yeah.
And now these guys get to get back in the game. Like that's BS.
Yeah.
That
was a very big topic of discussion.
Especially after you're in this environment that is weird. You're like in a hotel, you can't talk to anybody. You're on ice, and then you go, oh, these jokers get to come back. So for me, like I just tried to meet everybody as quickly as I could, and I also laid low. I kind of just sat back. I took in the environments. I kind of see who already had relationships, who didn't, and I tried to find people I could trust. And the cool thing is, like, there was 2 people I found quickly on who I felt connected to, who looked out for me for some reason, and it helped.
Yeah. Who are those people, out of curiosity?
It was 118 Nick.
Okay.
And it was 167 Tyler.
Nice. Okay.
You know, and I remember Tyler came up to me right in the circle, shook my hand. He goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know, my last name is Lucas." And that's my son's name.
There you go.
So I'm like, oh, this is
instant
great.
connection, yeah.
Yeah, and then while we're playing dodgeball, like 118 Nick gave me a heads up, like, hey, so and so's coming after you. Just want to give you a heads up. And I'm like, I don't know Nick from anybody, and I'm like, can I trust him?
Yeah.
I kind of do for some reason. And so like it's neat. Then you get these bonds and you get through it, and you kind of go. I kind of earned some respect from them. The fact that an old OG with gray hair got through the dodgeball game with these young bucks who wanted to get me out was kind of like, okay, respect to Jeff.
Now, I feel like one of the most important factors in building relationships is having key information. And I feel you had a very niche piece of information that made us very close. Whenever we first started talking, you mentioned that you also did theater on the side and that you had watched the Tony Awards while you were in your hotel while we were playing the first game.
Yeah.
And me and Jesse, we were freaking out because we're like, oh, we got to know what the results are for this musical. And then we got to know each other. So can you tell us about like some of your favorite shows that you've seen, some of your favorite performances that you've performed yourself?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I did my first show when I was like 12. Then I did a show when I was 13. Then I did a show when I was 14. And then I just realized, like, I also play sports. I played football in college. So it's like I stopped my last show at the age of 14, and I didn't do a show until I was 30.
But you went back to it at least. So.
Went back to it. And so my first role back was The Secret Garden. I was Dickon.
Nice.
It was just such a fun role. I mean, it's like, I love that show. It's a great show if you haven't seen it. And then after that, I was Sam from Mamma Mia.
Nice. Okay.
Which was, you know, another fun show.
Yeah, such a great, iconic show. Yeah.
And I've done a couple kind of original musicals here in the Bay Area, which is a ton of fun. I did one right after season 1 last year.
Really? Okay.
A cool one called Things. I don't know where it is in the kind of the developmental process, but it was really, really cool. Dream roles for me, like George, Sun in the Park would be fantastic.
Sure. That's actually like a beautiful show, honestly. If you haven't seen it, listen to the music even. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get obsessed with it. It'd be a hard role to play, but it'd be fun.
Sure.
But I did see earlier this year, I saw Death Becomes Her.
Oh, great show as well.
And I didn't, like, I heard about it and I saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so that's another role. I'd love to be Ernest
I can
on
see
Death
that.
Becomes Her.
Yeah. Do you feel like you would want to go to the stage continuing on even like professionally down the line?
It would be awesome. Yeah. Really tough on family life.
Sure. Of course,
especially kind of at a community or regional scene. It's like, rehearsals at night
Yeah.
and on weekends, and that's kind of what my time with kids. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I think performing on stage, and again, I've only been in like 5 shows in my life,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. And I kind of equate like Beast Games to that. Like
Yeah.
you don't know anybody, you get in this environment, and after a week, you're like, I know you super well. It's just like doing a show.
Yeah, because you're like forced to be next to each other in the rehearsal process. You're there like usually 5 to 6 days a week for like multiple hours a night, and you have nothing else to do but to kind of get to know each other and like do something that you're both passionate about.
And you have to work together with strangers
Yeah.
to tell a story. Where in Beast Games, like you're working together with strangers to try to survive in advance.
Yeah.
It's just I like when people ask me like, how did you get so close to these people? Like, you ever go to theater?
Yeah.
It's like that.
So you built a career in healthcare sales and leadership. So can you tell us about one sales tactic or negotiation tactic that helped you win Beast Games in season 1?
I'd say being interested in others.
Love
Like
that. Okay.
like I remember I was in my early 20s, and I think the guy's name was Marshall Thurber, said, hey, like be interested, not interesting.
Mm.
You know, a lot of the times people know, I do this, I do that. But if you're interested in others and you actually listen to them, and you can even hear what they say between words, like you can gather a lot of information.
And then you can like start to connect to like some of their points, find a common ground as well.
Yeah, and especially it's one thing to like listen, okay, how can I use this? But it's another thing to kind of go, oh, I'm interested in you.
Yeah.
So it's I think just being interested in others genuinely is a superpower, and it also makes life fun.
And I feel like that's the one thing that I've heard, like when Jeff were talking, they called it the Jeff bug for some people. They're like, oh, we're going to take the OGs out. But like, oh, but Jeff is so like charismatic and he actually talks to us. And so I think like you had that kind of like going into even season 2.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a tactic. It's just kind of the way I live my life, but it works. It's like if you're this guy who's over here in the corner, you're going to go, who's this asshole? So it's for me, it's kind of going, I want to get to know people. Like, and I like a bunch of different things, sports, theater, music. So it's like you can connect with people if you just ask questions.
All right, so we're in the Bay Area right now. Jeff loves going on walks, so we figured what better way than to do a walk.
Let's go on a walk. Come with me.
All right, Jeff. So a lot of people know the Jeff that's on screen, but I feel there's like a huge story that kind of like, you know, led you to who you are now. So like, can you walk us through like some of the big moments throughout your life that defined you?
Yeah, I grew up in Ohio. I have 4 older sisters. So, you know, I don't know anything different. So like, I mean, I was, and we're all pretty close. My oldest sister is 9 years older than me. So just a middle-class family where we were always together, always doing family stuff, a bunch of cousins. You know, I think like for that, like women are tough to understand, you know? And so I think it's like, it definitely forced me to listen and try to seek to understand like really what's going on, especially because I was
the only guy.
And I was like 8 years old while, you know, 3 of them were older than 14. So it was like one of these weird things like, okay, I need to try to understand them better. And it helped me. It helped me kind of, and also my mom is like super compassionate, always thinking about others. And I think that kind of really, she instilled in me this, you know, hey, how can you help people? How can you be interested in others?
Yeah.
How can you, you know, just not be as selfish? And so, you know, grew up there, and you know, it's one of these things that like, you kind of think back to the areas of life that kind of shaped you. As I played college football, but I in high school I quit football my sophomore year. I'm like, I don't want to play football anymore.
What position do you play out of curiosity?
Wide receiver.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, I was faster back in the day. But it's one of these things where like when I was in high school, I'm like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. And then I came back and I played my junior year and I was really good. And then, you know, got a bunch of honors my senior year. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go play in college. And because of that, I met some of the best friends I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I'm still in touch with today. So it's like, it's just weird how these little decisions you make at the time cascade and 20 years later have a lasting impact on your life.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, I think one of the best things I ever did was kind of move away after college. Is, you know, I moved from Ohio to Pennsylvania, then to Kentucky, and just kind of getting away, even though it wasn't too far, it's like kind of forces you to grow up.
Yeah, because if you're just like stuck in the same thing you grew up around, then you're never going to grow as a person.
And that's okay. And I know some amazing people who never left home.
Sure, yeah.
But for me, like I had to, especially you got 4 sisters, you kind of have 5 moms.
Yeah.
And like to go and figure stuff out on my own, I had to go away. And so it was, going away after college was great. you know, and a lot of people don't know this story. You'll love this. So it'll tie into theater.
Okay, yeah.
So in my 20s, I kind of got into personal development, and I was doing this personal development course up in Northern California while I was still living in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And I met this girl named Unison.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Awesome name. And her and I kind of just quickly connected. And I'm like, well, what do you do? She goes, oh, I'm a music teacher, but I'm also a musical director of a musical coming up. I'm like, oh, what musical?
Yeah.
And she goes, The Secret Garden.
Mm.
I go, oh, well, I can tell if a thing is wick. And she goes, oh, how do you know that? I'm like, Secret Garden. Like, I saw it with my mom when I was 13. I love it. She goes, you should audition.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, where's the show? She goes, San Diego. I'm like, but I live in Ohio.
So is that what brought you to?
So I auditioned.
Oh.
I got the part, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
So I took flights out Friday,
Yeah.
rehearsed on Saturday and Sunday, took red eyes back.
That's crazy.
And did the show, but like right before the show was about to start, I asked my company, I was, performing well. I'm like, hey, do we need any help? I saw that there's not a rep in LA.
Yeah.
Can I move out there and try to help get that territory going? I do it, and then a job opens up in the Bay Area, and I moved here.
Oh, that's
So like
cool.
this little conversation where I had a conversation with someone who I'd never met before.
Yeah.
The Secret Garden brought me to California, and then once I was in California, I'm like, what am I doing? Ohio. Like, I love Ohio. Like, Ohio has my heart, but I'm like, I got to move here.
Yeah.
And so
Is this where you met your wife as well?
Yeah, I met her after I moved to the Bay Area. I met her within like a month.
Oh, wow.
Months, yeah.
Okay. So it seems like it was honestly kind of like meant to be, divine intervention,
100%. I mean, it was, and a lot of my life, when I look back, it's almost miraculous how these things happen. And, and I'm convinced that these opportunities are always in front of us every single day.
Yeah.
Like,
are we bold enough to just say yes to them?
Yeah, say yes. And sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But just being aware to kind of go, gosh, this is what I say I want, and this looks like an opportunity for me to seize it or try to seize it. I got to do it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So now, you originally came onto Beast Games to help raise awareness for your son's cause, the Creatine Transporter Deficiency. And one thing that you talked about in a lot of the interviews afterwards is how creatine is something that's necessary for everybody. So how was a win for finding a cure for Creatine Transporter Deficiency a win for everybody?
Wow. Never been asked that question. That's, so not to get into the weeds with creatine, but yeah, you and I make creatine naturally.
Mm-hmm.
My son Lucas makes creatine. Yeah. You have a transporter that takes it into your brain, into your heart, into your muscles. Lucas's transporter is broken. But one thing that there's a lot of scientists who think there's a tie between creatine and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ALS, where there's an energy kind of metabolism deficit. So a lot of scientists think that creatine might be that missing piece.
Okay.
So if they can figure out how to get creatine to kids like Lucas, meaning how do we get additional creatine targeted directly to the brain, can we help mitigate some of the symptoms or eliminate some of these neurodegenerative diseases? So like for me, like I didn't know this last year. I didn't know it the year before. So like I wanted to try to find a cure for Lucas, but now I realize, gosh, finding a treatment for Lucas could help millions and millions and millions of people. And I used to be in the senior field. I used to be in the adult care field with Alzheimer's and dementia. And it's just devastating, not only for the patient, but for their family. So in some weird roundabout way, Lucas and CTD could help find treatments for conditions that everybody knows about.
And yeah, Alzheimer's, I feel, is like one of the most common things. So like when you talk about rare diseases, people sometimes don't relate to it, but Alzheimer's is something that everyone can relate to. So I think, yeah, honestly, if there's any way to cure like all those as diseases, that'd be like amazing.
It would be amazing. And it's like, and so like to get deeper, like I believe Lucas is here for a purpose. And I believe my role is to help his purpose be fulfilled.
I love that.
And if it's like, like we want to help kids like Lucas. But if it's to help find an unlock for the 5 million people who have Alzheimer's in the U.S. without a true cause, that would be an amazing legacy
for a lot of people.
Yeah, just a great legacy that Lucas could leave.
I was so worried.
That's the best question I've been asked out of any interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm honored. That's
yeah,
so
because
cool.
it's not like, hey, tell me about creatine. It's like, what does it mean for all of us?
Yeah. Because I think at the end of the day, that is kind of like, it's hard to get people to care for something that doesn't relate to them. But if you find a way to relate it to everyone's lives, because
Oh yeah,
Alzheimer's will affect either your loved ones or somebody in your immediate circle eventually. That's like one of the
100%.
most common ones. Yeah. So I appreciate you saying that, though.
Yeah, I loved it.
So now you're also on the board for the Association for Creatine Deficiencies. Can you walk us through one of the conversations that you have at board meetings that people would be surprised to know that you talk about?
Yeah, when it's a nonprofit that is trying to kind of find a cure for a rare disease, like every dollar matters.
Sure.
So it's kind of going, where do we fund? How do we balance speed versus diligence?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, of course, I want a treatment for my son today.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's also understanding that science takes time. So it's kind of weighing these options. And I think the beautiful thing now is we do have more funding. We do have more money from Beast Games to kind of go, okay, this project says it's going to take 24 months and we'll find this out. What do you need to get the same answer as 9 months?
Sure.
And like, so we it's just right now we're at a point where we have to operate differently than we used to, because we were trying to stretch every dollar a long time. Where now we're kind of going, we have an opportunity to kind of really take a different approach to it. And so just balancing speed versus, like, I don't want to call it accuracy, but speed versus diligence is it's a new conversation we're having, and it's fun.
How do you actually determine which areas you need to fund more than others?
It's hard. And so right now, like, since Beast Games, we're doing a initiative called A Race for a Cure. And our aim is to raise $5 million.
Nice.
My family's already pledged $1 million. We have another family who's raised $500,000. So we're doing awesome. But with that, we've done requests for proposals where institutions will say, hey, here's our plan. Here's how much money we would need. Here's what we would achieve, and here's our timeline. If we get this much, here's what we can do. If we get that much, this is what we can do. They present that. We have a team that assesses it. We have a scientific advisor on our board. We've reached out to some volunteer scientists who are helping. Then we have them actually present their proposal to us.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's like a formal process.
Yeah.
And then our board votes. But yeah, it's neat. I'm telling you, like, not only is CTD on the map because of Beast Games, but these researchers are like, people know what we're doing now. Like, researchers are like, my kids actually are excited because they have a tie to what I'm doing during the day. Where before, Creatine Transporter Deficiency, you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Creatine, big deal. Like, everybody's got it, but they don't realize how devastating it is. So everybody from families have more hope than ever. Researchers and scientists are like, oh my gosh, people know what I'm working on. Yeah. It's a good time to be in the space to try to help kids like Lucas. We got a lot of more work to do, and it's going to take time, but we're doing it.
So now, rare disease work often means that you have to be an advocate for your kid as well as their parent. So can you tell us about a time where you had to put on that advocate role, even though you just wanted to be a dad to Lucas?
Yeah, I mean, I might kind of answer this a different way.
Sure.
You know, like it didn't really hit me until I was on this panel a couple months ago that I'm not just a dad, I'm also a caregiver. You know, like, Lucas is 8 years old, but just got potty trained. Yeah. There's a lot, we have to administer medicine. We have to handle him differently than his older brother.
Sure.
And so, like, I just never realized, oh, this isn't just dad work. This is caregiver work. Yeah. And there's times where I want to be a dad. There's times where I wish we could all go out to dinner, where we could all go see a movie together, where we didn't have to be so routine. And it's just kind of balancing that dad/caregiver. It's don't get me wrong. I love my life.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But there's times where I'm like, man, I crave the moments where I can have more dad-like moments than caregiver moments with Lucas.
Sure.
And not just for me, but just for us as a family.
Because everyone imagines, like, at least I assume, like, being a dad and, like, throwing a baseball with your kid and so forth. But, like, sometimes those opportunities are just, like, taken away. But honestly, I give, like, so much respect for you, like, putting in so much effort to make sure that he has, like, the best life that he can have.
Yeah, and he's amazing. He is a sweetheart. You know, obviously he can be a little grumpy, as we all can. But, like, think about it. He cannot communicate effectively. So he's like, why can't you understand me? Yeah, is kind of the way I see it. But yeah, it's, there's times where we do stuff with other families, and then we have to go home. while they go to dinner and they go see a movie, and it's like it's just it's a lifestyle that we don't have yet. Getting creatine to his brain will change it. Like we will be able to have a more kind of typical life, and I wish that for him.
So now, obviously, you went on Beast Games, you won $10 million. People think that's it, you're going to be able to solve this. But what's the reality of the situation?
It's, you know, it's super sweet. Like kids will come up to me and say, "Hey, have you found a cure?" Yeah. And it's not like it's, you know, hiding in the garden underneath a rock.
You just got to pay the $10 million.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Or it's not like, "Hey, there's this procedure that can help your son.
Yeah.
It costs $5 million, and now we have the money to do it."
Sure.
The reality is, science is slow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, science takes time. The beautiful thing is, like with AI, science is speeding up at kind of rapid pace.
Yeah.
So like again, I don't wish CTD on anybody, but this is the perfect time to have it. So much global attention on it, so much global attention on creatine in general, but also with where AI is with science, it's great, but like it's hard. It's going to take time, and this disease is really hard because your kids a lot of times look perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Gross motor, like Lucas can jump, skip, run. He's great. But we don't know what the lack of creatine is doing to his internal organs. Like we talk about his brain not developing, but it's not getting to his heart either.
Oh yeah.
So is his heart becoming weaker? We don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, our aim is how can we get a little bit of creatine to their organs that need it?
Yeah.
And then ultimately find a cure. So if you are a carrier of this disease, you can get gene therapy.
Yeah.
And it's eradicated. Like the perfect world is fast forward 5, 7, 10 years from now, nobody should be born with CTD. And if they are, they can get diagnosed and have a treatment within a week or two.
I'm so excited because I do feel like this is going to be the generation where like you and Lucas fix this, and it's going to be amazing. Honestly.
It's going to be awesome. You know, and I think it took a lot in me to realize, yes, Lucas may not be the great beneficiary of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like he's going to flip a switch and have a conversation like you and I are having.
Yeah.
His life will change. It will improve. But there will be kids who will be born who could sign up for Beast Games season 22.
Yeah.
You know, or go to college and become a scientist. So like, it takes a lot of internal work to kind of realize that the work we're doing is probably going to help others more than it helps us.
So now, even with all the awareness that you brought towards CTD, what's one misconception that the media and people just still don't understand and you wish that they could finally unlearn?
Yeah, I mean, creatine has this, you know, everybody thinks about it with bodybuilders or athletes and like, oh, it's just a nice to have. I just don't think people understand how critical it is to even our everyday life.
Yeah.
The cool thing is there's so many studies right now on creatine. They're coming out like week after week. But I think the biggest misconception is that, you know, winning Beast Games and $10 million can fix this.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, we're talking about tens of millions of dollars we need, and awareness and scientists to like really work on it exclusively.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
It's a continuous process that's going to take time. If people wanted to contribute towards the cause, what's one resource they could reach out to do so?
Yeah, you could follow me on Instagram, legacy.831, but more importantly, go to creatineinfo.org. A ton of information there, and if you want to contribute to the cause, it's a 501c3. It's all tax deductible. We are going to find a cure. I promise you, we're going to find a treatment.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and we're not going to quit until we get there, but we do need help. When my wife and I think we just got married, and you know, like Saturday mornings, like she would wake up a little late, like paint her toenails and watch a show. And I'm like, I got to do something.
Yeah.
And this is when Uber was just starting to get big. I'm like, hey, let me just see if I can drive for Uber.
Yeah.
So I apply and I do it. And so I turned on my app and I'm like, oh, this is great. I get to talk to people and like, you know, be professional. If they don't want to talk, I'll just take them where they want to go. And I remember I picked up this one couple, and you can tell he was very businesslike. His wife was very sweet. And I dropped him off at the gym. And then like 3 months later, I'm interviewing. I'm in the third round of interviews, like the final interview for this head of sales job at this startup. And I asked the CEO, I'm like, hey, do you happen to work out at this gym? And do you happen to live in this neighborhood? He goes, yes. How do you know that? I'm like, I picked you up in an Uber and took you and your wife to the gym. And he goes, why the hell were you driving for Uber? I mean, I ended up getting the job, and I was the head of sales, but it's just one of these weird things where, I ended up meeting technically my CEO
That's so
while
crazy,
I was driving
yeah.
for Uber. But I'm telling you, as a passenger and as a driver, you have some amazing conversations
Yeah.
with folks. Yeah, I mean, I think theater is like the closest thing to the feeling of Beast Games. Like I remember when I did the Secret Garden show, and again, I was a fish out of water. Hadn't done a show in 16 years, and didn't know any of these people. But within a week or 2 weeks, it's like you care deeply about them. Like I could name off people's names, and this was 15 years ago. And it just, your job is to work together to tell a story that's been told thousands of times, but in a ultra unique way. Like no one's told it the way you guys have ever told it. And by the way, tomorrow night you'll tell it differently. Then the next night it's even different. And so that's why I like about theater and just these bonds. And again, like the day before opening night, you're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? And it comes together. And it's kind of like Beast Games. It's like, oh my gosh, what's the challenge going to be? How are we going to do this?
And somehow figuring it out is like one of the greatest feelings in the world.
It's amazing. It's like, and it's so fun, and like you get to celebrate with people. And and it's kind of like playing baseball. Like if you watch baseball, professional baseball, and you see like a game ends in an amazing way, they go out and rush the field. They're like kids, you know. And I think that's what these environments do, is like it brings these childlike opportunities of amazement or wonder. Kind of to life again, which is, man, there's nothing better than that.
And I think, that's something that people need to like do more often, is bring out their inner child. Because I feel like the worst way to live life is just to give up on it. So kind of like like we said earlier, take on new challenges, do things that you enjoy purely for the sake of your own enjoyment. Live a life that you're happy to live.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, especially
in
a world, but especially in a world where like you're ultra connected. Like there's always going to be more work to do. There's always going to be something else you can finish for work.
And then family commitments, and then relationship commitments, all those take on friendship commitments.
But finding those things that really fill you up, and at the same time, if you can meet new people and have new experiences through it, like it's fun, man.
All right, and to finish things off, we're gonna do some rapid fire questions. You ready?
Let's do it.
Cool. What's one thing that you bought for yourself with the winnings?
Bought a couple Bitcoin.
Oh, nice. Okay, so got to keep the investments going.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ultimate, we want to stretch this out as long as we can. I got it in a decent time.
Hey, there you go. Okay,
we'll see.
Hey, open it, giving you good luck.
Exactly.
What's the best piece of advice you got after the win?
Be mindful of those who want from you and not for you.
Because I feel like sometimes, especially like winning such a large amount of money, people try to take advantage, and especially when you're trying to do something good, you have to be careful with like that.
Well, yeah, or they might want money, they might want clout, they might want you to. They expect something from you.
Sure.
So it's like, especially with my story, it's like I'm trying to find a cure for my son's rare disease. Yeah. If you're trying to extract something from me, like, be mindful of it.
What is your favorite family activity?
I'm super simple. Walks.
Oh, okay.
Like,
nice.
So I love going walks with Lucas, but like if my wife says, "Hey, can we go for a family walk?" It's like, oh,
yes.
it's like my favorite thing.
Is that why you decided to do the walk for? Was it 59 miles?
We did 68 miles.
68 miles. Okay.
And then last year we walked across California, 365 miles. Like I love walking.
Yeah.
But family walks, it's like if my wife wants, she doesn't need to buy me anything. She doesn't need to do anything special. Just go for a walk.
I love that. What is your favorite musical you've seen on Broadway?
I saw the original cast of Book of Mormon.
Oh, okay.
Which was phenomenal.
It's crazy. It's a fun show.
Oh my gosh. I mean, but like, and then you think about like, maybe I like vulgar kind of shows, because I watched Death Becomes Her this past year. And I was like watching that, I was like, I in my mind I said, oh my gosh, like 15 times. Did they really say that? Did they really do that?
Yeah.
But I loved, like, Death Becomes Her was great. I mean, Broadway's amazing.
100%. And then what do you want people to know going into Beast Game Season 2?
I think Season 2 is going to be a little dirtier, a little crazier, and a little more cutthroat than Season 1. I think Season 1, we were all naive. It was kind of a little kumbaya. We were having so much fun.
Yeah.
I think Season 2, people went in knowing how to play the game and navigate a little differently. So you got to tune in.
And hey, Jeff just joined the process in Season 2, so it's up to you to find out how far he makes it. So thank you again, Jeff, for taking the time to meet with you today. And thank you for joining us for another episode of Behind the Beasts. Thank you for watching the first episode of Behind the Beast. It genuinely means the world to me that you are here. Now, I also want to be very respectful of the disability communities and what we talk about in these videos. So 100% of the profits of this video are going to the Association for Creatine Deficiencies. That's the organization that Jeff and Lucas love so much. Now, for the entirety of the series, we'll also be having a fundraiser for Major Connections. That is a foundation created by Gloria, one of the other contestants on the show, and its purpose is to provide resources as well as a sense of community for those with disabilities, both kids and adults, in rural areas. To learn more about the organization, check out the link in the description. If you have the financial means to do so, please support it in any way you can. And if you can't, please share with your friends and family. But until then, thank you for joining for an episode of Behind the Beast, and I'll see you later.